Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Good afternoon, people. How are you guys doing out there in media land or wherever you all at or wherever you're doing? We here. We here.
Well, Mr. Ed just said we had a hell of a month, a hell of a week, and a hell of a day.
Hell yes. And that's why I got my hooded robe on, my comfort. So
Your comfort.
I have to bathe myself in comfort. And this is it. This robe is it's comfortable. So I have to bathe myself in comfort because if I don't, man, I will go absolutely nuts.
Well, I'm here in Florida, Central Florida, and the weather is 70, 75. I think it got as high as 80 today. Nice and sunny, so I have no complaints. But I take that back, I do. I take it back, I do. Because, and I ain't talking about everybody that shoe fit, wear it. I think we got a Looney Tune and we got a clown that's running this country. We have a Looney Tune and a clown. And the people that's following him are their puppets. They're going around saying they agree to everything he's doing and they're doing and all of this crazy. The thing is, people be trying to tell people, I don't know what's wrong with these news. I'm upset because they're talking about an $8.5 billion budget for the U.S. aid. And that's all they're talking about. But we just found out over $640 billion have been spent for foreign aid. We have over 1 million nonprofit organizations in this country. We ain't talking about the other countries over there because we support them too. These nonprofits. And you got over 10 million people that's working in these nonprofits. I'm going to tell you, if I had the energy, the time, I would look up all these 501c3s because it's got to be public. You can pull their taxes up and everything. Find out where they're getting their money. I mean, all of them. I'm talking about the progressive ones, the right-wing ones, all of them. Who's supporting them? Who's the fiscal officer? I mean, all of them. If anybody got that kind of energy, and it ain't gonna take, to look them up, and it's a million of them. Over a million nonprofit organizations in this country that's getting grant money. They soliciting, and they living off their money, which a lot of them is doing good. Okay, I'm gonna say some of them are doing good, but a lot of them just placating. shuffling paper and doing nothing. Writing a newsletter here and there, maybe have a meeting or two, and you know, maybe have a couple of hundred people in their little whatever they be having and stuff like that. I'm telling you, bro, they keep on talking about. I was just trying to, in my head, I didn't write it down. In my head, I was just trying to figure out how many people is getting government money in this country, man. I'm talking about from the local to the federal. When you're talking about military people, when you're talking about state police, you're talking about regular police, local sheriff, you're talking about FBI, CIA, all of this is state tax money. All of it. Now, if a nonprofit organizations are employing over 10 million people, how many local and state people across this country is working for the government? Way more than 10 million. I can tell you that right now. You're talking about at least 30 to 35, maybe even 40 million people, if not more, working for all of these entities. So when you're talking about pull up your bootstrap and all that kind of craziness, when you got a guaranteed income working for the local or the state or the federal, and a lot of y'all doing good work, y'all, you know, but some of y'all sitting there just shuffling paper, answering phones. Somebody call and complain, you write it down. You might handle it, you might not handle it. I've been there. We are in a Looney Tune state right now. We are the laughing stock of the world. But yet, we give more money to foreigners. And I'm not knocking helping the poor, helping those third world countries and what have you. And people want to go over there and volunteer and help them because a lot of them in bad shape. But I'm telling you, man, they are not investing thoroughly into the American system here. We are Looney Tunes. They rather incarcerate people, uneducate people, you know, when President Kennedy came in office, he said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. But he forgot to tell them, but you gotta educate your people. Fairly. You can't just educate some of your people. We have blown, God only knows, 25, 40, 50 million people, not educating them. And a lot of them, I dare say, some of them was very, very smart. They could have been scientists. They could have been anything, lawyers, doctors, engineers. If you wasn't so racial. It's a shame, man. It's a shame. And, you know, I mean, once you learn, you know, when you get them to become a little older and you realize that they're not going to treat you fair, then you got to do the best you can to get as much education as you can. And get that degree or whatever. Okay, now, you know, I'm 17, 18, 19, 20 years old. Hey, I got to get me an education. But the bottom line is we should have been putting these people, they done raised up these prices of schools. People can't even afford to go to college. When I was coming up with per class or per hour, and I don't forget what they charged, but it wasn't no more than $15, $20. Now, you're talking $400, $500 a class, if not more. I don't even know what it is now. Come on, bro. These people, they're insane, bro. They do not want to educate their people. And everybody don't have to go to college. I'm talking about even trade schools. They'd rather bring in people for cheaper labor. And these poor people in other countries, they're coming over here and they're doing everything they can because they want a better life for themselves and their country is not providing it. And they got all kind of war zones and everything else in these other countries. And there's a reason. I don't even want to go into that because there's a reason for that too. Looney Tunes, bro. Looney Tunes. They're gonna sit up here and emphasize a $8.5 billion budget. I'm just upset, bro. When I mean, where's the go down and audit the Pentagon? You want to audit something? Why don't you audit all of these nonprofit organizations? They getting $1.5 trillion or more a year. Looney Tunes and clowns. That's all we got in charge now. Looney Tunes and clowns. These people ain't serious about nothing. I was just looking at the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, and 2021 it was 9%. 2022 started going down, and we are a month out of Biden's administration and Harris' administration. It's down. It was below 3. Now it's up to 3%. So it went from 9 to 2.9 to 2.8. And then they're gonna sit up here and say, "Well, he killed over 100 million birds," but they don't mention that it's a bird flu pandemic. People done died already from it. How stupid can you get, man? Tell the whole story.
Always good to lie.
Just tell the whole story, man.
It's always
And what
good
do
to
we
lie.
know about bird flu? Only the people that raise these birds, they know they're sick, so therefore, hey, I gotta kill them. Because if I give it to the people, they're gonna die.
Always good to lie or keep people in the dark.
Keep them in the dark, bro. And that's right now. Oh man, we in the dark right now, bro. We don't know what's going on.
Well, Ted, luckily, these outside entities are doing a job on us right now. These outside forces are slowly but surely doing one heck of a job on us. We have not hit the wall yet. Now, food
So you're
prices
saying it's
going up.
gonna get worse?
That's what I'm saying. We ain't hit the wall yet because everybody is avoiding the fact that the food prices are still going up. Eggs are still high. And this knucklehead done put a tariff on steel and aluminum.
They're gonna, and steel and aluminum use that for everything.
We have to have steel and aluminum if we want to continue to build our cars. Can't build no car unless you got steel and aluminum. And most of them, steel and aluminum, comes from a foreign country. Ford and some of the other car manufacturers are seeing this crap. And they trying to say, we're going to have to lay off a bunch of people. And just like you said, Dum, he ain't hearing it. That his people going to be laid off. They're going to be able to work. And why he said and did that, even his staff has no idea what the hell he was saying and what he was doing. But they can't say nothing because he going to fire them. They're going to lose their job.
Oh, yeah.
He getting ready to have almost all of his cabinet picks and stuff in record time in their jobs. Woe is us. Because them some dangerous folks that's getting ready to take over.
Well,
But I still, like I said yesterday, there's threatening a constitutional crisis. But you can't listen to what he says. You got to listen to what he does. See what he is doing. See what's happening. One of the things that he done throwed his whole force and everything behind is getting these people of color out this country as fast as he can. He done fired 2 ICE managers, ICE executives, because they said that they wasn't getting them out fast enough. So he fired them and put somebody else in charge. So their job is to get these folks out of here as fast as possible before they have a resistance coming. So again, he's hitting that low-hanging fruit. Now, we talked about this a long time ago. The United States is a big ass ship. It takes a whole lot to turn it around. But all these outside forces are helping to turn this thing around and to cause extreme harm on the American people. And his cronies out there are telling everybody, get ready because it's going to hurt. So they setting it up for this country to be hurt. They're telling people, you're going to be hurt, so get ready for it. But we don't have to hurt. You don't have to do that. That is not something that he can still deal with whatever's going on, but he doesn't have to hurt everybody and stuff. Take it slow. You can't fire a million federal workers and expect for this place to operate at peak efficiency. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You're losing too many important people. And a lot of those folks and stuff, Ted, who have said, forget it, I'm going to go ahead and leave this thing and resign. Guess where they're going? Into the private industry, because they got the knowledge and the wherewithal that is needed by these private companies. So you can't blame them for leaving. But there are some of them who have important jobs. They know what they're doing. They've been doing it for 20, 30 years, and they're forcing them out. So if you're being forced out and told that if you're getting ready to lose your job, what makes you think that they're going to train whoever he get to come in and take their job? Because somebody got to come in and do the job, Ted. You can't operate without having people doing the job. And where they coming from? I have not seen a plan where they getting ready to say, we got a ready workforce out here that's getting ready to come in and do this job. Not there. So what you gonna do? Dumb and Dumber.
You know what the Secretary of Transportation said? He said Elon Musk is going to take care of that. He's going to modernize our system. And he know how to hire the right people. Elon Musk. He flew people up to space and back. I'll trust him more than I trust anybody else. How many flights we didn't have accident already? 6? We'll see.
Well,
we'll see.
I'm hoping that this will hurt enough people that they're going to come out and open their mouth and say something. I'm hoping that somebody going to come out and say something. And the only people who are going to come out and say anything is the folks over there in the red states. They better hit their Congress people up and say, hey, if you don't get him, we're going to get you. Just like he put pressure on them. They need to put pressure on they folks. Put some pressure on them. Because, Ted, there's a whole lot of people over in the red states, man. They hurting like hell. They're hurting like hell. And these folks over there are holding off, hoping that they can curl them down until they find out what he's going to do. And then they depended upon Elon Musk. And he going to have to turn around and watch his backside, because a lot of his businesses and stuff are going to hell. Them folks in Canada are divesting from Starlink.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Everybody. They're taking their contracts with Starlink and divesting from it. And if he ain't careful, there are going to be a whole lot more people out there who are using Starlink who are going to divest from that. They're going to find something else to do, some other kind of way to get their communication. So his companies and stuff and that thing, if he ain't careful, he got to watch his backside. Because they're going to be chomping at his behind. So I guess he's depending upon the U.S. Treasury Department to probably bail him out with them, $6 trillion that he wants to try to steal. But it's going to be difficult for him to steal that money because the judge has already told him he better not be up in there. And if he does go up in there, he will be arrested. And Daddy Trump can't stop him. So we're going to have to let the court system take over, along with the other outside pressure, to deal with this guy. And trust me, Ted, he's feeling the pressure. Old Trumpy boy is feeling the pressure. Even though them Republicans ain't saying nothing, he's feeling the pressure. But he's going to find out that Fox can't save him. Fox can't save him. Them boys is on the airways trying to defend him at every corner. They're out there.
Trying, boy. They're trying
hard. Trying to defend him. They trying to defend him. But it's man, the tide. It's just like a tsunami getting ready to come in, and the wave just keep coming, and eventually they're not gonna be able to hold back that water. It's gonna come. It's gonna break them down. They can't, and they're talking stupid crap and stuff. I'm listening to some of that stuff. Hannity's talking, and anybody, even the Fox folks and stuff, got to sit down there and look at this. Is this man serious about what he's saying? Is this man serious? Because I'm trying to listen to him, and most of the stuff he's saying doesn't make any sense. Not at all. Doesn't make any sense. And Ted, the final thing I got to say about this is that you can't juggle too many apples. Eventually, the act is going to be over with because all the apples are going to fall down. And I can see that old boy juggling these apples. We're going to get this, get this, get this, get this. And he's juggling them apples, and eventually the act going to be over with. After a while, you ain't going to be to juggle all them apples. That's my final word about Daddy Trump right now. Anything else, man, you want to talk about? I wanted to say something, Ted, about something. I'm going back to my favorite thing that's happened this weekend is my Super Bowl. I'm going back to the Super Bowl. Now, the NFL decided that they wanted to have a halftime show. And they picked Kendrick Lamar for the halftime show. Come on, brother, do the halftime show. So he did. They got what they paid for. Why is everybody complaining? They were too black. The show was too black. What do you mean it was too black? I don't understand, Ted. What the hell, that's what they asked for. They brought a black man to do a show. So the show gonna be black. What's the problem? Apple paid some money for it. They have to pay the bill. That's part of Apple stuff. Why did you jump on Apple and say something to them? You shouldn't have gave that money to do that show, Apple. You should have at least looked at the show before they put it on. But they put it on. The boy did his thing. He did his thing, what he does. He's a black man. He's a rapper. He's an entertainer. That's what he did. He entertained those people. Now, if the white folks in the audience didn't understand what he was talking about, that's their problem. I didn't understand everything he said, but I'm okay with the show. Now, let me get to the nitty-gritty here. Somebody jumped out there on the stage and they let her do the sea walk. I didn't know what the sea walk was, why they called it the sea walk, but I found out it has to do with where she was born and raised, the Crip Walk. And that's what they do where she lives at. So she's emulating where she lives, where she was raised up at. These are the people who made her. She lived in Crip country, so she did the Crip Walk. But everybody wants to say that it was because of her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend, I'm sorry. But it really wasn't. I think that she was just out there doing what black folks do in her area where she came from. People like it because a whole lot of people out there are emulating the sea walk, including white people. Don't they emulate us, Ted?
Yep.
Anything we do, they're going to pick it up. And now They talking about them pants that boy had on. And they're saying that is going to be the fashion for at least the next 6 to 7 months.
That's all we wore in the 60s, bro.
Hey, hey, that's the fashion now. Everybody gonna have the bell bottom pants. They're sitting down there on their shoes.
I miss those slacks.
Yeah, that's a fashion statement. This man just did a fashion statement. What's wrong with that? People gonna want to emulate him, and white people gonna emulate it. Watch, Ted. There gonna be a whole lot of white people out there with them bell bottoms on, man, just like he got them on, and they're gonna pay big money for those pants. Big money. You're looking at $700-800 for a pair of those pants. Somebody gonna make a lot of money.
I just want to say something about fashion.
Go ahead.
You know, when I lived in Chicago, I lived on the south side, I lived on the west side, but I was a very young guy before we moved out there in the Hopkins in the country. And I used to always hear these stories. If you know somebody from south side, they Ivy League. That was the thing back in the 60s. They all, they wore big collars, high top collars, button down, tight slacks, and polo shirts. That was the Ivy League. It was just a style. And on the west side, they wore these baggy pants, dress pants, but they were baggy pants, long collar shirts.
Gaucho.
At the chest, you're right.
Gaucho.
And that's the way I dressed. And the thing is, I like both styles. So, to each his own. I like both styles. But the point is that I guess that's a way of segregating or dividing, whatever. So now, when he said ghetto, he said, Samuel Jackson said, stop being ghetto. Don't be ghetto, or something like that. And I heard a guy critiquing, and he said, who's to say that that's ghetto and what is ghetto? Because a lot of people dress like that, but they want to call it ghetto. That's a style. These people wearing a style. I used to be kind of upset too. But see, when I lived in Chicago, I dressed like, what they say, do as the Romans do. Wherever they're wearing, I'm wearing. So, I just fit in. But the bottom line is that if people just want to wear t-shirts and shorts, no socks and gym shoes, whatever, but that's ghetto to them. They think that's a form of poverty. Now, it's very cheap. You can wear cheap stuff, wearing a t-shirt and the shorts and a pair of cheap gym shoes, and yeah, that's true. But I'm gonna tell you right now, most of these people ain't wearing no cheap shoes, bro. They're wearing $150, $200 pair of gym shoes. Mm-hmm. They shorts is a couple of hundred. T-shirt is $50, $60.
Mm-hmm. And them holes on them pants are $400-500.
Thank you. That's the way they like to dress. That's the style of the hip hop era. So when I see people walking around and looking like that, I don't have no issue with it because that's the style of them. Because when I came up, I wore the gospel, the baggy pants, the long shirt, and all of that stuff. But I interchanged. I learned to interchange because I like style. I like different suits. I might wear a brand name suit, and I might wear a suit off the rack. It all depends who, I mean, but that's what I don't like. I don't like people, you characterize people and you want to put them in a pigeonhole and what have you, because you can be rich as all get out and dress the same way. The only thing is you ain't wearing no $100 outfit, you wearing $1,000 outfit or more. Same clothes though.
I got one exception.
Okay, go with it.
Pull your pants up. I don't want to see your butt, man. Put your pants up. That's the only thing I got to say. I don't care. Put your pants up. Don't let me see your back. I don't want to see your drawers. Some things you need to, kind of cover it up, but I don't want to see your butt and everything. That's my only problem.
That's one style I'll never figure out.
Yeah. Don't show your
Never
butt,
figure that
man.
one out.
And that's my only thing. Anything else is fine. Just don't show your butt. Put your pants up. Shoot. Pants hanging all
I
down
never
around
figured
you.
that one out here.
Huh?
I never figured that one out.
Well, I did. You know what that is.
Yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah, you know it. We know what it is.
Yeah.
We know who it is. And like one of the comedians told his son, said, "You're sagging, you must be fagging."
I don't think that's not a politically correct word, is it?
Well, that's what he told his son. And he said it on stage. If you're sagging, you fagging. Eddie Griffith.
That's what he said, Eddie Griffith?
Yeah, he told his son that. Son come out there, get ready to walk out the street, and the pants was all down around his butt and everything showing him. He grabbed his son and said, "Oh, baby, hold it. You sagging, you fagging." So anyway, that's my only exception. And all the other stuff, holes in your pants, all that other, hey, fine, you can wear that stuff.
They wore holes in their pants in the 70s, bro.
Yeah, I know.
That was a style.
Yeah, he had holes in your pants. Matter of fact, I used to create my style. I used to put holes in my stuff. I can put a hole in my pants so I can wear it.
Why would you want to pay $400 for a pair
if I pay $400, I can buy a pair of regular jeans and put some bleach on it and bleach them, maybe the blue jeans and stuff, so turn them kind of halfway, whatever, and put a hole in them. Hey, I got it. I can't pay all that money. So, hey, but anyway, man, that was my thing. I thought that all these folks and stuff out there who beating Kendrick Lamar over the head, I'm not a fan that always watches Kendrick Lamar, but the man's an entertainer, and people, our youth and stuff, like him. They think he's great. So hey, more power to him. I wouldn't beat the kid over the head. He did what he had to do. It's almost like all the other black folks and stuff who were in charge of a halftime show. Why you got to beat Kendrick over the head? Prince did one. Man, Purple Rain. Great show. But I don't know, man. It's just that I hate to see y'all folks and stuff get beat up, even when they're doing something right. That man ain't out there shooting people up. He's doing creating art. And that's art. He's creating art. And that's all he's doing.
Somebody did a little quick 10-minute documentary, and from 20 whenever he started. Because I'll be honest with you, I never paid that much attention to him until his hit record came out. And that was a couple of years ago, or a year ago, whenever it was. I mean, I heard about him and all that, but he's been around for a long time. And the thing is, somebody did a thing that they were saying they was going by net worth.
Mm-hmm.
He was worth whatever, and then I think he wasn't worth no more than, for 6 or 7 years, no more than $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then next thing you know, he'd start blowing up. And next thing you know, he's worth over $2 million, then $50 million. Now he's supposed to be worth over $140 million.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
They
he's doing well.
they're liking his art. The people are liking his art, and that's great. Hey, we had our art.
Did you know that? I didn't know this. Did you know that he did a song for the Black Panther?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I didn't know that. He might have did the whole thing. I don't know. I'm just not a big. I'm a rap fan to a certain degree, but I'm not a big rap fan. I'm not a connoisseur of rap music. I mean, it's been around since '79. At least that's just the time I was introduced to it. Curtis Blow. Curtis Blow, boy, I used to love Curtis Blow.
Yeah, well, you
Grandmaster Flash and all them.
You dipping back there.
But I'm stuck in from the '60s to the '80s, bro. My music.
Yep.
Anything over that, you know, I mean, if it's a hit and I like it, okay, that's fine. But
Yep.
Anything, you know, all my music, I got tons of music, and all my music, DVDs, all of that is number 60s, 70s, and 80s stuff.
Well, there's a few guys and stuff I think is all right. I like Biggie. I didn't think a lot about him when he first came out, but after he had passed away and everything, man, I started picking up on a lot of his music and stuff, and I thought he did one hell of a job. Notorious B.I.G. Rest in peace, my brother. And all the rest of them who've gone on, rest in peace. Marvin Gaye, rest in peace, my brother. Oh man, there's a whole lot of them have gone on, Ted, and not around anymore. So, hey, big artists, and they had a profound effect upon society in that day.
Yeah. That's who Kendrick Lamar is. His whole song, his whole thing was he had messages.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a Marvin Gaye.
Mm-hmm.
He has messages.
Or Curtis Mayfield.
And that's what, you know, you can be entertained, but every once in a while you do need to be informed. You need to be saying a protest song or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because to let the people know, hey, I see you. I see what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you're doing.
Well, a lot of those
don't mean that we don't know it.
Yeah.
We ain't got no power to stop it, but we see what you're doing. And his messages, man, I mean, subliminal or whatever, he was doing it. I mean, I was looking at this and said, what? Look at that flag. What? What's that about?
Yeah.
And then, you know, like on my TV, when he was saying it, I was reading it as he was talking. Because, he was talking so fast. He wasn't like Scott.
Really fast, yeah.
He wasn't like Scott, He wasn't like Scott. You know, you can hear every word he say. He's very, slow. He talks slow and what have you. And you can hear it distinctly. He was talking so fast, you couldn't keep up with it. I had to listen to it 2 or 3 times, bro. And I said, wow. He said some deep stuff. 40 acres and a mule.
And
I said, these young people know something, don't they? They know something.
And the revolution is not now.
Yeah. The revolution is the one.
Yeah.
Revolution will be televised, and I'm not the one.
Be televised, but you got the wrong what? You got the wrong man.
You got the wrong one.
Got the wrong one.
He know his history, man.
Yeah, you can
and
tell
a lot of other people too. I'm gonna tell you, there's a whole lot of people, man, commented on that. They picked up on all of that stuff real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So I was impressed. I was very impressed, and when you at the Super Bowl, you want to hear some good music and stuff like that. But I think it was time. It was time. It was kind of different. Still was music, but it was different.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, the man did his thing. That's his art. He and people like that art. And not only here in the United States, he got people outside the country and stuff. They love his art. So hey, go ahead, brother. Don't let
He
these
broke
folks
all the records, bro. He
right.
broke he
Don't
broke
let
all the
these
records.
folks, Kendrick, don't let these folks turn you around, man. And forget about them and turn a deaf ear to that stuff. You keep on doing your thing, my brother. Keep on. Anyway, Ted, anything else you want to say? But that's what I had to. I picked up on that, and I really picked up on it and stuff because of what they did with Serena. She was only had like a little man, a very very small section and stuff in there and everything. And I think a lot of people picked up on that thing wrong and stuff because
You heard what
they
Stephen
gave
A. said, right?
they gave Drake too much credit.
Oh,
He
he
wasn't
wasn't
even
even
there.
just a little bit of Trey. He wasn't talking about Trey. That song wasn't even talk. He was making inferences about so many other things.
Mm-hmm.
That was just that song was about Trey originally, but because they battled, and Trey tried to diss him, but and then he had a lawsuit too. Trey put a lawsuit on him. So, but
Now what?
really, it
Now
was
what
it
did
was a
Stephen
love.
A. have to say? You didn't finish your thing. What did Stephen A. have to say now?
If I was married to Serena, I would divorce her.
Somebody else told me that too. I said that man. Sometimes Stephen A. just takes it too far. I think he does. He all right and everything at some point in time, but he got a bad habit, Ted, of just taking it too far. I mean, too far. And I think he does that and everything so he can keep his ratings and stuff up, so he can keep himself up, out there and have people talking about him and what he's saying. He does it on
Well,
purpose.
he's an idiot.
He does it on purpose because he wants to do that. He wants people to talk about it. And that makes him relevant. So I don't believe he believes that. He just said it just so he can keep his salary up to that $10 million they paying him to be on ESPN. He get a nice little buck from him. After he had 2 years ago and stuff, they threw him off and he had to beg his way back on. But he just his own thing. That's him. That's Stephen A. So hey, take it for what it is, for what it's worth. Because there ain't no way I would have divorced girlfriend. She got a lot going for herself. Anybody who got into stuff, man, be stupid to let her go. The girlfriend got a lot going. She got a
She has
lot
a
of stuff going
venture
for her.
capitalist company.
Yes, sir.
She got a makeup line.
She does. She got a
She
lot
got a
going for
clothing
herself.
line.
And she got a whole lot of rewards, awards and stuff behind her that she has won. What, 10 or 12 Wimbledon championships and everything? She got some hardware, buddy. You can call that girl a GOAT. Now, if
She's a
anybody needs a
champion.
GOAT,
She's a champion.
anybody needs a GOAT. That's her. GOAT. So anyway, that old boy over there, he ain't running short. He got a lot of money also. And I was talking with somebody about the little girl, the first little girl he got. Man, oh, that little girl and him, he crazy about that little girl. She can't do nothing wrong. And I had forgot that they named her after him. She got his name, his full name.
Mm,
Be a girl. He got his
I
full
didn't know
name.
that.
Oh yeah, she got his full name. I can't even pronounce the name, but that's the name that they gave her. And I guess that old boy loved some black woman.
Well, to me, just is my opinion. She seemed like such a sweet person, nice person. But don't cross her.
Mm-hmm.
Don't cross her, bro. I done seen that anger.
Mm-hmm.
Don't cross her. But
She
she
can get
seems
ugly.
such, huh?
She can get ugly.
Oh yeah. Don't cross her, bro. But
She can get ugly. But hey, I I'm okay with it. Hey, and like I just said, Stephen A can keep his bull to himself, but if that's what he want to say, that's fine. He got to stay relevant out there. He got to be uh the lone wolf running around there. That's his mantra. I'm the lone wolf. I'm gonna say what I want to say. But he's all right. I enjoy listening to old Stephen A. Even though
okay, I'm gonna change the subject here right quick before we get off the air. Let me just say this.
yeah, because
You
we
know they
about ready
just
to go
passed.
here.
You know they just passed. What's her name? Gabby.
Right. However, yeah, she's the security, the National Security Administration, right?
52 to 48. Guess who voted against it? Mitch McConnell. She
How did
didn't
they
get
get
his
50?
vote.
How did they get 52 though?
Well, it must have been some Democrats.
No, well, maybe them girls and stuff voted for her too. The one from Alaska, Mikowski, and that old knucklehead woman from Rhode Island probably voted for it then too.
She's gonna be over 18. Intelligence.
Well, they already said that, but both of them, you can expect that Patel to be the FBI director and stuff in just a few more minutes. They've already said that the Republicans in the Senate are going to rubber stamp everything he did. They rubber stamp it, and they ain't care. So we need to just get ready for them when they show up because they're gonna rubber stamp all of them. Like I said, his whole cabinet will be in there in less than a month, which is unheard of. In less than a month from the time he inaugurated him until by the 20th February, his entire cabinet going to be there. They're going to be all voted in. Ain't nobody going to stop them. I don't care what the Democrats do. I don't care what they say, how ugly they make them look. The Republicans are going to rubber stamp it. Bam. They ain't going to stop. Bam.
Well, let's get into this for a couple of minutes.
Go ahead.
What do you think the Democrats should do?
Do exactly what they're doing now. Each one of those houses and stuff and everything has to do what they have to do. Each one of those houses. The House got to do what they got to do, and the Senate folks got to do what they got to do. They only got so much power. The Senate and stuff and everything with those archaic rules and stuff and everything, they have a lot more to say about uh, other things and stuff as far as politics and bills and all the other stuff that they can stop a lot of bills, they can stop a lot of other stuff. But as far as judgeships, federal judgeships and everything, simple majority. Anything that has a simple majority, they're going to lose it. But anything else they're concerned with bills and stuff and everything, they got a lot of power to stop them. Unless they can get through the reconciliation process, which they probably won't because the House is not going to be together enough to do anything. What's really going to stop Trump is that House. The Senate, they're going to follow him lockstep. Now the House, that's a different story. It's a different
Well,
story.
I've been listening to some of those ones that got the R behind their name.
Yeah. And
They lockstep.
yeah, and the fact and everything that they're going to have these elections getting ready to come up. They got that one in Ohio, and then they got one in your state there in Florida to cover up them
But
cabinet
that's a
appointments.
Republican stronghold, there, bro.
Yeah. Well, you don't know how Trump gonna piss them Republicans off because they ain't the Congress people and they ain't the senators. The people and stuff who are Republicans and stuff they ain't got no fear of him doing anything. So if he's pissing them off and everything, the people off and everything, they can turn against him, just like they did in Iowa. In that state Senate race, they turned that shit around. They didn't like what Trump was doing and everything, and they put a Democrat in. Forget them. And that's what I'm saying. If they can win those 2 seats, they got 2 seats in the Senate, and they got at least 3 or 4 seats and stuff in the House. They turn them seats around and everything, then they got control of both the houses, and Trump really can't do anything. Well, they won't have control of the Senate. All they're going to have is it'll be closer vote.
Ooh, man.
So
Yep.
that's my point. That's
Okay.
my thing. That's my take. And like I said, it's going to all depend upon how these Democrats and stuff handle this thing. They got to. I'm telling you, like I said the other day, they got to stop blaming themselves and stuff for this November 5th election. Get off of that. That's in the past. Leave it alone and keep on going. And get out there and start doing what you're supposed to be doing and stuff as elected official and stuff and everything. Get out there. You need to get people out there. People like Jasmine Crockett. People like uh, girlfriend, all those women up there in their daggone house and stuff. They need to have them out there beating them bushes and stuff and everything, and getting good quality candidates and stuff to run for those seats. You don't just throw somebody in there because they've been there for a long time. You got to put somebody in there that's going to shake stuff up and get people to come out there and vote for them. And someone who is boisterous, somebody who's going to get out there and going to do like we've been talking about. Get to them daggone school board meetings. Get to them daggone other meetings. Have you a damn town hall. Call folks in there and start talking about this and bring this crap up and stuff. If you want to run, you want that thing, you got to get out there and do your work. You can't just say, well, okay, I'm going to raise some money. Give me some money. You got to do more than give me some money.
Here's the thing, though, Ed. The one thing that I've noticed that you remember when Trump had his rallies,
Mm-hmm.
he don't allow any opposition.
Mm-hmm.
If people out there protesting, get them out. So, but these Democrats want to be for everybody.
Right. Bring them in. You want opposition. You want people to stand up and talk crazy or ask some questions and stuff that's really stupid and stuff and everything, and how you get back to them and everything. If you are a good orator and a good speaker and everything, you can drown that stuff out. The people in the audience are going to drown them out.
Well, I don't
Barack,
agree.
yeah, Barack
I
was
don't
good
agree.
at that.
I don't agree.
Huh?
I don't think they should allow any opposition to come in there. And then, because that's a waste of talking to them, because you're not going to change their mind. They're going to be for Trump no matter what. And they come in there, they want to cause chaos, and people get upset, and they tell half truths. Because I'm going to tell you, just like this is the way I feel about it. Some of the stuff that Trump's doing, it might be cool, and it's very cool. But hey, they sweeping the country, bro. Supposed to be sweeping the country of getting a lot of these illegals that are pretty bad out of here. He's sweeping the country. I don't have a problem with that. Do you have a problem with that?
You know, but I got a point of order to say about having someone to come in who has a different viewpoint than I would. If you are a good speaker and you are in tune to what's going on, the audience gonna take care of them. Anybody who's a rabble rouser, the audience gonna deal with it. They'll deal with it.
Waste of
They'll get
time,
them
ain't
out.
it?
Huh?
Waste of time.
They'll get them out. The audience will. You ain't got to say a word. The audience will get them out. Anyway, last word. We at the end, Ted. We got 1 hour. What's your last word here?
We have, I'm going to say it when I begin, a Looney Tune and a clown. And these puppets better realize and cut the string. Ain't nothing wrong with you agreeing with a lot of stuff that Trump might be doing. But don't be a puppet. Be a critical thinker. Look at the facts. Look at the truth. The whole truth, not half of the truth. You got to do your own investigation. You got to be engaged. I'm far from a politician, but I'm engaged. I read articles. I look at stuff. And then I find out my own truth. I find out who's telling a lie and who's telling the truth. If I listen to conservative radio, when I listen to conservative radio, I can tell when they're lying and telling half truths. It's crazy. It's crazy. And like I said, they was talking about earlier. I mentioned chickens, and they were talking about Joe Biden killed over 100 million or 100,000, whatever it was, chickens.
And my first word is say, you damn right he did.
But they didn't say
You're
the
absolutely
reason
right. He did
why
that.
it
You're
was
absolutely
told
right.
them
He
to do.
did that. He did that. You
Because
are
there was
absolutely right.
because there's a bird flu. Those chickens were
Absolutely.
sick.
Absolutely.
That's why you got egg short of eggs, because he killed all those chickens.
Right. And you absolutely right. He did. He killed all them chickens. Or the people who were out there, who were the farmers and stuff, they killed them. But he was okay with them killing them. Now,
It's a good thing that you had honest farmers,
right.
because they could have fed that to us.
Now, if they didn't kill those chickens, some of your folks and stuff who eating them eggs and them chickens would be dead now. Oh man,
That's the half truth, though.
there's an education part and stuff that has to come into to affect you. There are a lot of folks, man, who are just absolutely don't have a clue out there. It's a whole lot of them. They are without a clue, and it's a shame to see it and to hear it. It is. It's a shame. They don't think. Nobody. They stop thinking. In the year 2000, George Bush came to president. That's 24 years ago. And he got with the Department of Education, and he had an edict that came out and it stayed there for 8 years. And that edict was that the school system taught to the test. You had to pass a test. You had to educate your kids to pass a test, not to think, not to use their head, but just to pass a test. That was the beginning of those generations and stuff now who were around then. They are the ones that we're looking at right now. They are the ones we're looking right now. They were taught to pass the test, not to think. That's what he said. That's the thing that he told his education department that he wanted to do. And a whole lot of people, Ted, teachers, lost their jobs because they wanted to get their kids and stuff and everything to learn, and that was the wrong thing to do to set up this system and stuff so they can pass a test. If they can pass the test, they can go to the next grade. If they didn't pass their test, the teacher's fault. You got to get them to pass their test. So what happened here in Atlanta? They arrested all them teachers and stuff who cheated on letting these kids pass the test because that's their job depended upon their student passing a test. That's my final word. Anything else, Ted?
I'm done.
Bye, people.